Welcome to Nicely Done Yoga. This is a vinyasa class for all level students to enjoy. Sit comfortable on your knees with your hands in your lap, palms facing up, and just take a moment to connect with your body. Tune into your breath. Bring your awareness inside. Take a deep inhale and slowly exhale. And on the next inhale, bring your arms up to the sky. With a little back bend, bring your arms over your head. And hands touch, hands to heart. Exhale. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, interlace your hands and flip the palms up to the sky, giving yourself a nice stretch. And twist to the left. Look up to the sky and twist to the right. And a little back bend, stretch over your head and bring your hands down. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Hands touch and twist to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And twist open to the right. Left hand comes to your right knee and look over your right shoulder. And come to center. Interlace your hands behind your back. Look up to the sky, open your chest. And reach your arms back. And fold forward into child's pose, with your fist reaching up to the sky. Pushing your arms forward, creating a nice stretch in your shoulders. And slowly come back up. Open the chest, look up. And fold forward into rabbit pose, coming onto your knees. Pushing your fists forward, creating deeper stretch in your shoulders. And come back up. Release your hands in front of you and come into child's pose. Foreheads resting on the mat. And take a deep inhale and slowly exhale, relax. And slowly come up, tuck your toes and lift your hips up to the sky into downward facing dog. Length through the shoulders and push the heels of your feet into the mat. Drop your knees, chin and chest to the floor, come into Astangasana and roll forward into Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And sit back onto your heels into child's pose. Come back up, flow forward into Cobra pose. And lift the thighs from the mat, coming into upward facing dog. And sit back into child's pose. Push into your hands, come back to upward facing dog, lifting the thighs off the mat. And come back into child's pose. Come back up, lifting the thighs off the mat into upward facing dog. Pushing your toes into the mat. And sit back into child's pose. And walk your hands back, come back onto your heels. And come onto your knees. Placing your hands in your lower back and bend backwards. Preparing for a camel pose. Rotate your right arm back and try to grab your heel And rotate the left arm open to the back and grab your other heel. Coming into full camel pose. Pushing the pelvis forward. Keep breathing into your chest. Pushing and lifting the hips forward. And keep breathing. Bring your hands back to your lower back and come forward. Sit back onto your heels and come into child's pose. And take a rest here. Come back forward into upward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, child's pose. And slowly come back up, tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky into downward facing dog. And take a deep inhale, slowly exhale. And step your right foot forward between your hands, drop your left knee down, coming into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, a little back bend, and sink into the hips. Place your hands on the mat, step forward, inhale halfway lengthen, hands to your shins, and exhale fold forward into Uttanasana. And step your right foot back, drop your knee, come into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, little back bend, sinking into the hips. And keep breathing. Place your hands on the mat, step forward, inhale halfway lengthen, exhale fold forward Uttanasana. Place your hands together, raise yourself up, Urdhva Hastasana, with a deep back bend, and fold forward all the way down Uttanasana. And from here grab your toes and fold even deeper. Straighten your legs, straighten your knees. And try to fold your nose towards your knees. And release your hands and slowly roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you're back in Samastiti, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, arms up to the sky, with a back bend, Urdhva Hastasana, and fold forward into Uttanasana. Step your right foot back, drop your knee, come into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, with a back bend, and hands to the mat. Step back into downward facing dog. And drop your knees, chin and chest to the floor into Astangasana, and roll forward into Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And sit back onto your heels into child's pose, forward resting on the mat. And take a moment to connect with your breath. Come back forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the sky into downward facing dog. And from here, step your right foot forward between your hands, drop your left knee, come into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, with a little back bend, sinking into the hips. Feeling a nice stretch in your hip flexors. Hands to the floor, step forward, inhale halfway lengthen, exhale, fold forward Uttanasana. And hands together all the way up into Urdhva Hastasana, and hands to heart Samastiti. And take a moment here to reconnect with your breath. Inhale and exhale. And step your left foot back. Straighten out the legs in a triangle, coming into 5-pointed star. And pull yourself forward and bend forward into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Your feet are in one line, your shoulders are stacked above each other, and you look up to your fingers. Come back up, bend your knee into Warrior 2, arms open to the side, flip your palm, and come back into Reverse Warrior. Sinking into the hips, looking up to your fingers, and take your left arm behind your back into a bind. Grabbing your thigh with your fingers, looking up to the sky, and slowly release, come back into Warrior 2, and bring your weight forward, coming into a half moon. Stretch your left leg back, balance on your fingertips, keeping your right leg straight and strong, keeping your balance, and try to look to the side. Left arm reaches up to the sky, and slowly place your foot back, coming back into Warrior 2, and place your left hand next to your foot to the mat, and reach your right arm up, coming into a side angle twist. And bring your right hand down next to your foot and open up into side angle B. Left hand reaches up to the sky and look up to your fingers. And come back into Warrior 2. Bring your hands to the mat, step back into a plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lifting the hips. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lengthening through the shoulders, pushing your feet down into the mat. Bend the knees and jump forward between your hands. Inhale, halfway lengthen, and exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Hands together all the way up into Urdhva Hastasana, and hands to heart, Samastiti. And step your right foot back, straighten out the legs, coming into a 5-pointed star. And pull yourself forward, bend forward into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand reaches up to the sky, looking up to your fingers. Feet are in one line, shoulders are stacked above each other. And slowly come back up into Warrior 2. Flip your front palm and come back into Reverse Warrior. And take your right arm and wrap it around your back, coming into a bind. Grabbing your thigh with your fingers. Keep looking up to the sky, sinking down the hips with a back bend, and keep breathing. And slowly release, come back into Warrior 2. And place your weight forward onto your left leg, coming into a half moon, balancing on your fingertips, reaching your right leg back, foot is flexed. Right hand reaches up to the sky and look to the side. Keeping your balance, keeping your focus. And slowly release your foot back down, coming into a Warrior 2. And place your right hand next to your left foot and twist open into a side angle twist. Left hand reaches up to the sky and look up to your fingers. And from here, place your left hand next to your left foot and open up into a side angle B. Right hand reaches up to the sky and look up to your fingers. And slowly come back into Warrior 2. And bring your hands to the mat, step back into plank, chaturanga, inhale upward facing dog, and exhale downward facing dog. Straighten your legs, hips up to the sky, push your feet into the mat, lengthen through the shoulders, and step your right foot forward, left foot 45-degree angle. Straighten out your front leg, coming into a pyramid pose. Grab your elbows, lengthen through the spine, and fold forward from the hips, reaching your nose to your knee. Pushing your right hip back, squaring out the hips, and place your left hand to the mat. Reach your right arm up into a pyramid twist. And release your hand to the mat. Drop your knee, coming into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, little back bend. Sinking into the hips. And place your left hand to the mat. Right hand reaches up to the sky into a low lunge twist. And bend your knee, grab your foot with your right hand. And pull your foot into your buttocks. And look over your shoulder to the back of your mat. And release your foot down. And move back into a half split. Straighten out your front leg and fold all the way forward. Pushing the right hip back and pushing the left hip forward. Come back forward, come onto your toes, lift your arms up into a high lunge. Legs are strong. Place your hands in front of your heart and namaste. And twist to the right. Left elbow comes to your right knee. And open up the chest. And open up your arms to the side. And swing your right arm back, swing your left arm up into a reverse warrior in high lunge. And step forward, come back in Samastiti. Take a moment to reconnect with your breath. And step your right foot back, coming into a pyramid, grabbing your elbows, lengthen through the spine, open your chest, and fold forward from the hips, reaching your nose towards your knee. Keep your legs straight, keep your hips square, and keep breathing. Release your right hand down. Left arm reaches up into a pyramid twist. Keep your legs straight, keep your balance, and look up to the sky. Place your left hand down, drop your knee, hands together, coming into a low lunge, hands up to the sky, with a little back bend. Place your right hand to the mat and reach your left hand up to the sky, into a low lunge twist, and look up to your fingers. Bring your left hand down And move back into half splits. Straighten out your front leg. And fold forward, nose to knee. Keep pushing your left hip back, right hip forward. Try to keep your hips square. And slowly come back forward. Coming onto your toes, coming up into a high lunge. Legs are strong. Hands in front of your heart, namaste. And twist to the left. Right elbow comes to your left knee. Keep your balance and open up your chest. And open up your arms to the side. From here, cartwheel the arms, reaching your right arm back, left arm up to the sky, into a reverse warrior in high lunge. Sinking into the hips with a back bend, looking up to your fingers. And hands in front of your heart, step forward in Samastiti. Take a deep inhale, arms up to the sky, Urdhva with a back bend, and fold all the way forward, Uttanasana. And grab your toes. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. Reaching your nose towards your knees. Inhale, halfway lengthen, hands to your shins, and step back into a plank. And roll onto the side of your feet to the left and open up into a side plank. And place your left foot on top of your right knee into a side plank tree pose. You can also call this a fallen tree. And come back to center. Come back to plank. And roll onto the side of the feet to the right. Open up to side plank. Pushing your hips up to the sky. And place your right foot on top of your left knee into a falling tree pose. And slowly come back to center. Going back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And step your right foot forward, left foot 45-degree angle. Come onto your toes into a high lunge. And wrap your right arm underneath the left. Palms are touching into eagle arms. And lift your left leg up and wrap it around your right into a full eagle pose. Reach your arms up and sink your hips down. Keeping your balance, keep your focus in front of you. And slowly release. Come back into Samastiti. Inhale, arms up to the sky, Urdhva and fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to your shins, halfway lengthen, and step back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And from here, step your left foot forward, coming onto your right toes into a high lunge. And wrap your right arm around your left, palms are touching. into eagle arms. And wrap your right leg around your left leg into full eagle. Sinking into the hips, reaching your arms up and keeping your focus in front of you. And keep breathing. And slowly release. Hands in front of your heart, Samastiti. Inhale, swipe your hands through the mat, coming into a chair pose. Sinking into the hips, looking up between your hands. And slowly sink down, coming onto your toes, grabbing your knees, coming into a cosmic egg. Hugging your knees into your chest, keeping your balance on your tippy toes. And slowly sit back onto your mat. Roll onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. And place your feet back on the mat. Preparing to come into bridge pose. Make sure you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Place your hands next to your hips and lift your hips up to the sky into a bridge pose. And place your right foot onto your left knee and keep pushing your hips up. Interlace your hands behind your back and come onto your shoulders for a deeper stretch. Pushing into your foot and reach your right leg up to the sky, pointing the toes. Feeling a nice stretch in your hamstrings and your hip flexors. Keep pushing your hips up to the sky and bring your foot back down. Release your hips down. And come to the other side. Pushing your hips up into a bridge pose. And place your left foot onto your right knee. Keep pushing your hips up. And interlace your hands behind your back, coming onto your shoulders for a deep stretch. And keep pushing the hips up to the sky. Reach your left leg up to the sky, pointing the toes. Feeling a deep stretch in your hamstring and your hip flexor. Keep pushing your hips up and slowly release. And bring your hips down. Keep your left foot on your right knee and let your right knee fall to the right side into a supine twist. And look over your right shoulder. Stay here for a moment and relax. Keep breathing slowly in and out. And bring your knees back to center and switch to the other side. Place your right foot on your left knee and let your left knee fall to the left side. Looking over your right shoulder into a supine twist. And relax. Keep breathing slowly in and out. And slowly come back to center. Release your feet. And hug your knees into your chest. Grab the outsides of your feet into a happy baby. Opening up the hips, pulling your knees towards the mat. And slowly release. Place your right foot back on your left knee. Interlace your hands behind your left leg and pull your knee into your chest, into a supine pigeon, creating a nice stretch in your hip. And push your right knee open with your right elbow to the side. And slowly release. Place your left foot back on your right knee, interlace your hands behind your right leg, and pull your knee towards your chest. Pushing your left elbow into your left knee to create a deeper stretch. And relax. And slowly release. Bend the knees and bring the soles of your feet together into a reclined butterfly pose. Hands fall open to the side. And take a deep inhale. And slowly exhale, let everything go. And relax. And bring your knees back together and place both knees to the left side of the mat into a nice supine twist, looking over your right shoulder. And relax. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And bring your legs to the right side of your mat and look over your left shoulder. And keep breathing slowly and relax. And slowly bring your knees back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. And straighten out your legs, coming into your final posture, Shavasana. Hands fall open to the side. And take a deep inhale. And on an exhale, let everything go. And relax your body. And slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Start moving your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring back some movement into your body. Interlace your hands and stretch out over your head. And roll onto your left side, using your hands as a little pillow. And stay here for a moment. And slowly push yourself back up into seated position, coming back into half lotus. And place your hands onto your knees, palms facing up. And take a moment to reconnect with your body, with your breath. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, look up. Hands touch overhead, hands to heart. And rub your hands together, creating some heat. And place your hands onto your eyes to calming down your nervous system and tuning into your energy. And rub your hands together one more time. And place your hands onto your heart. Thanking yourself for showing up today for this beautiful practice for your well-being. Nicely done. And namaste.